Anything you can do, I can do better.
Nope.
I can do anything better than you.
Not gonna happen.
Than you.
Nope.
Fine. Hi guys, he's back, which means it's time for another clay off.
Yeah, like last time, we're gonna draw a category and we're gonna draw 3 things. And there has to be on a sculpture. And I'm happy about mine. How about you?
I don't want to talk about it. So, what do you say? Let's get started and see the mayhem, guys.
Yeah.
Come on. Da da da! So, I was the first one to draw, and I have to say, I was just not lucky at all because I drew horror.
Now it's my turn. And I draw very enthusiastically.
Maybe.
This one. Sci-fi.
Yeah, you just got really, really lucky.
Yeah, I do. Now it's on to the categories and the Apple of Doom.
The Apple of Doom.
Ready?
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah, I was the first one to draw, and again, my unluckiness, you can say, just kept going.
You were not that unlucky.
I was unlucky.
No.
I do cute.
Yeah.
Now I have
Ace of Clay
power,
would have loved it.
armor, horns, and retro. Come on.
Yeah, he would have loved it. And now it's me. And the small hole of the Apple of Doom.
But you make it. You make it.
I make it. With a lot of Vaseline. Big ears.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Nah, I think that was funny.
It was funny.
And then, more than 4 legs.
Sci-fi and more than 4 legs. Come on.
And creepy.
Oh.
I love it. No.
There we go.
Don't cheat.
This is not cheating. It's
Yeah,
helping.
It's cheating. Respect the apple.
Oh.
Do your horror.
Now, for any of you that have watched any of my videos really knows that I do cute, not horror. I don't do scary things.
And furry.
And furry things. But here I try something completely new. But with the things I picked, the only weird thing I could do in my perspective was to make a demon. And try to make a not cute demon at that. So it was many firsts for me.
Yeah, and look at your perfect score lines.
Well, I was pretty nervous about making a humanoid because I've made one, I believe. So I started with the head just to feel a bit more safe and get that out of the way because it was going to be the most difficult thing to do.
You can put fur on everything.
I don't want to put fur on anything. It just looks better with
But
fur.
you do that. Now I'm starting to drilling a hole in your block. So I can put my many legs on.
Yeah, it's not just one hole.
That's an amateur.
You're
from
killing my
the
block.
Horror. And some bulk up to make it. I decided to make a figure. I was inspired by one of the books we were hearing.
Yeah, I think it's called Project Hail Mary by Andrew Wire. Andrew Wire? Something like that.
Yeah. But it's a really good book. You should listen to it. And in that book there is a 5-legged creature from outer space called Rocky.
He's so funny.
Yeah, but he has no head. So I put on a head. So I think I just make a love trial between him and Jar Jar Binks.
It's sort of a Rocky Jar Jar Binks evolution.
Yeah, I would say that. That's the love child.
And there's the butthole.
That's not a butthole.
You're making a big butthole!
You can't say butthole.
I can't say butthole, I just can't say but you're going to bleep that out anyway.
No, I don't. It's not a butthole.
It's a butthole.
And while I make his sci-fi buttocks, then what do you do, honey?
Well, I'm playing around with the face. You can say I'm trying to make him look horrible.
Horrible. With
Horrible.
some big teeth.
With some pointy teeth, that's the only thing I got because I don't know how to make anything look scary. At this point, he really doesn't look scary at all.
I think it looks very scary now. You should have kept them like this.
Yeah, but that would make the video sort of short, wouldn't it?
No, you just try to make him cute.
Maybe.
Try to cheat.
I'm not cheating. I want to win. I'm going to win.
Look, that's horrifying.
Yeah, it is actually pretty horrifying. But here comes his bottom lip. I'm just slowly building his face up, trying to figure out how I want him to look.
Cute.
No, not cute, just horrifying in a dignifying way,
Just
I guess.
admit it, you do everything cute.
I don't do... Yeah, okay, I do everything cute, but I'm really trying here, guys. And I have no idea in what I'm doing. I'm just, at this point, so lost. Mr. Clayfect, he's got me this time, I have to admit. Also, in the background stories, Mr. Clayfect has me beaten because in any Clayoff, we are giving our character some background story.
And mine is named Flunk.
Flunk.
Yeah, Flunk is an alien from outer space in the far future.
Yeah?
Who has come to the Earth to teach us about his science, technique.
His ways?
Yeah, not his ways, but he's a mechanic.
Yeah.
So about his
Technology.
And that's why everybody calls him Flunk, because in his language his name is weird. So they call him Flunk. He never says so much because he's a bit shy. He don't understand humans.
So how would you pronounce his real name, honey? Oh, yeah. Okay, so Flunk.
Flunk is very better.
And now we are on to my character. And his background story, which are sort of short because I don't like him. He's way too horrible, not enough cute. I really don't like the sculpture, so it's very easy. His name is Andrew. He's an accountant. And at day he has a family with 2 kids and is a very insignificant guy. And at night he comes out as a demon warrior.
5 points to the retro category.
Really?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yay!
That's very, very retro.
Yeah, that is sort of retro. There isn't much more to say about Andrew because I really don't like the sculpture. I think you should win. I don't care about winning anymore because I just don't like him. He doesn't got the spark.
He's not furry, you mean?
It's not fur, he's just very...
They always have to be cute and cuddly.
Well, a little, at least a little bit. It's just not my style, guys, but...
I like it. That diabolical smile, look at those eyes.
Yeah, I think I hit in the mark, but I just don't like the mark.
I like the mark.
Well, that's good because you're going to look at him on the shelf.
Yeah. And I put up the shelf, so that's okay. But you put him all up the top, under the roof.
Yeah, because I don't like him. He's stupid.
He's not stupid.
He's stupid, ugly, and nobody likes him. Now it's on to you.
And the hands. So many hands.
Yeah, you were going a bit crazy at that point, weren't you?
Yeah, I was really going crazy.
How many times did you try to make some sort of alien feats before you decided on hands?
4. And I think I made 10 hands because every time I make a new one, it was 20% too large. It was really, really, really difficult to make 5 hands in the same size.
There was a lot of swearing, guys, let me tell you.
And I wanted all his hands to look different. And 2 of them are holding tools and this one's holding a flashlight. And I wanted to look like he was moving because he's a busy bee.
Yeah. I just love the way you incorporated the capuchon to make the flashlight. I just think it looks great.
You're just happy because it was your idea.
Well, maybe it was my idea, maybe it wasn't.
You're just trying to talk yourself up because you made a lawyer.
Well, I made it. That's what I did.
Yeah, no bad words to lawyers. I really like my lawyer. Then back to more hands and tiny nails. Oh god, I was going insane. And now to his dinglehopper.
Now, tell me, honey, what is a
I
dinglehopper?
have no idea, but he loves it.
He loves it.
It is. You know, he's not the most talkative of creatures. So
Yeah.
He never tells. Always has it with him, his dinglehopper.
Well, I have to say, it is very, very creative.
Yeah. And I don't know where it's come from, the Dinklehopper. Is it the Winnie the Pooh or?
No, I think it's the Little Mermaid, the fork.
That's right, Dinklehopper. I don't know if that's the same on other languages.
No, but you have to ask your alien friend for that.
Yeah. Maybe he's watched the Danish version.
And that is why he called it a Dinklehopper.
A Dinklehopper.
So maybe it's a big fork he's walking around with.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, we will never know.
We will not know.
And now we are on to my head, where I am giving him some hair, but finally it's the last thing I have to do before I can start working on the body.
You couldn't keep away from making fur.
Well, he needs to have hair on his head, honey.
Next time, I put one in the Apple of Doom that says no hair.
No hair.
No hair.
Well, that will make it easier. But here you see me playing with the Armature, and it was really difficult for me because I have never made a man's body. So I had no idea on how to proceed, so I just really took my time. I want him to sit in a squatting position, holding a knife to emphasize the horror aspect of the sculpture.
I'm very fond of you making this horror of amateur into something.
It was very, very difficult. I had no idea. It's my first time I tried to make a man's body. It's the first time I tried to make this position. Everything is the first time there.
And I thought my amateur was a horror show.
Yeah, it was very, very difficult. But I actually think it turns out great in the end. But that just goes to show that if you really take your time, no matter how experienced you are, you can level up your sculpture, so to speak. This is not the perfect man body, but compared to being my first, then I think it turns out pretty great.
Is he your first, honey?
Well, no, yeah, he's... Don't do that. Don't make things weird.
I didn't. Your dirty mind.
Oh, God. And here you see me making the shoes. And I have only made one shoe before with Serbois. Other times it's also my first shoes. And I actually had fun with this. I have fun with the sculpture, even though I really don't like Andrew.
And now look at this clip. I love this clip. Now you really see how devious he is.
Yeah, he is very demon-like.
Now back to Flunk. And he has had all his hands. Now it's on to his head. And I didn't really know what I was going for here, so I just started making something.
I just think he ends up looking really, really cute. Even with the somewhat creepy eyes.
Yeah, they're a bit creepy, but he has to be creepy.
Yeah, you picked that, so...
I don't think I made it, though.
Creepy? Well, in a way, the eyes are creepy, but he's also... He has his charms. I like him.
I think a bit about I didn't want to meet him in the dark alley.
No, but
then I would be creeped out.
But do you want to meet any alien in the dark alley, honey?
No, not really. Yeah.
If I had to meet him, I would love to meet Flunk. I like him better than Hubert.
Hubert?
Well, Hubert is slimy, Flunk is cute.
Hubert wants to be a friend.
That's true, Hubert.
Flunk don't want to be a friend, he just wants to be left alone.
I'll leave a link down below for you if you want to know who Hubert is.
And now I put in his most impressive teeth.
Well, I just love that technique you're using to make very tiny teeth. Flat tiny teeth. I hadn't thought of that.
I hate this translucent clay, it's so crumbly.
Everyone hates this translucent clay, honey.
Okay. But after those impressive teeth, I start bulking out his face and give him some nostrils. I didn't know if any aliens have nostrils, but this one has.
I just love his mandibles. I think they just give such character to the sculpture.
And what about his most impressive jawbone?
Well, that too, but the mandibles...
And brow bone.
Yeah, well, you really put some definition on the face there, didn't you?
And then I screw it on. And it works.
Honey, I don't think you can say screw it on.
Why? I did screw it on.
Oh, God.
I think it's your dirty mind speaking, honey.
I don't have a dirty mind.
Yeah, you have.
Now it's time for the shoes. Look at the shoes. I am trying to make some retro metal punk shoes. There was in the 80s, I don't know what they're called.
Dog Ox.
Is it Dog Ox?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to make those shoes to take the retro aspect, and also it will go great with the armor that will come on later.
And you really took your time on those shoes.
I really had to take my time on those shoes to get the right amount of details.
I think you used more time on those shoes than you used on his body.
Yeah, I did. I did that, but I did that so it could look sort of realistic, so that could be some sort of retro in it.
You know, women and shoes, guys.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why I like catnip.
Yeah, well, Andrew is a very stylish demon. With a bit of a shoe fetish, I would say.
Retro stylist.
Retro stylist. But on a completely different note, I would also, while I'm making the shoes, take the time to thank everyone who has subscribed lately. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think you have given me a hearing disorder. Because every time she gets a new subscriber, I hear EE!
Well, I'm happy that people want to join the community.
I'm happy for you, darling, but when I sit right next to you, you're screaming it.
Well, it's the fun part.
It is. And thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Now back to the shoes and the tiny, tiny shoelaces.
Bonk.
Or trying to, at least. Here you see me putting on some pants for him, so we can cover him up. I'm going with some skin-tight pants to fit with the shoes. As I said, Andrew is a very, very stylish demon.
Yeah, but you haven't told us that much about Andrew. What about his family?
Now look at the belt.
The belt?
I don't want to talk about Andrew.
Why not?
He's stupid. I don't want to talk about him.
No, I don't want to. I want to know
and
more.
Here you see me making his belt bucket. A little cranium, because that was my way of making him scary, I guess.
A little belt buckle.
Yeah.
I want to know about his family.
So, after I made the little cranium, you can see me making some leather straps to get ready for the armor that you see me making here. And I'm gently beating the clay to give it a hammered look. I'm using cast clay for all the armor simply to give it more flexibility and making sure that it doesn't break off.
But I don't think those things you'll make can define as armor?
Just wait and see, honey. Just wait and see.
And now, honey, tell them who made the tiny glass piece for you, you cheater.
Yeah, I made Mr.Clayfect cut out the glass for me. Because I needed some sort of more retro aspect. So I made a Game Boy. And I didn't just make a Game Boy, I actually made my own Game Boy when I was a little girl and got my first one.
Aww.
Yeah. I tried to give myself some sort of relatability to this sculpture because at that point I really just didn't like him at all.
You can't just criticize him, he's just your friendly neighborhood demon.
Account demon.
Accountant demon.
So, but even though the buttons isn't quite up to scale, I actually think it came out pretty great and I just love the glass.
Yeah, I think you have to give me more credit for that glass because that's really good glass.
Yeah, I know, honey. And here you see me making a knife.
I really don't feel you give me enough credit for that glass.
Now, for the knife, I used also cast clay.
Really?
To make it more bouncy.
No!
What? Fine, it was very, very good glass.
And now onto my shell.
What about my knife?
It's an alien shell.
Fine.
Now I'm just trying to conform his shell to his many limbs and neck.
Well, at this point, I think that he looks like a turtle that has taken radiation damage.
Crab.
Maybe a crab. No, turtle. I have to say turtle right now.
Maybe a bit turtle. How would you feel if you have spent that many years in space?
Probably less turtle-like, I would guess.
I think you would have 5 hands.
Yeah, maybe I would have. That would be cool, though.
Yeah, it would. But nah, no. And now onto his spikes. I put spikes on all his shell to make it more, I don't know, interesting?
Creepy?
Yeah, a little bit more creepy. So, and I know if people out there is suffering from arachnophobia, but this one don't have 8 legs, only 5.
Yeah, so he's not really scary, he's just
Creepy.
weird.
And then a little bit of texture on the shell, and then it's on to the big ears, and I've taken my fair share of inspiration from Jar Jar Binks here.
Well, I have to admit, even though I am a geek, I have actually never seen any Star Wars movie.
Never tell that to anyone, darling. You're gonna lose all your subscribers on this.
I have watched Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
But never Star Wars.
No?
I have to talk to your mother. I promise you guys, I put her down in the sofa and make her watch it now.
Well, you have never watched My Life as a Geisha, and that's a beautiful movie.
I have watched that 2 times and I fall asleep both times.
Meaning you didn't watch it? I watched it alone.
Just a bit boring.
It's
but-
not bowling, it's romantic.
Yeah, of course. Now I'm taking it off the block. Stop laughing. Look how cute he is.
He is very, very cute, and I love the small bags on his back.
Yeah, I couldn't show you the footage of me making them because they were out of focus, like 50% of everything I make.
And then it's on to my arms. And I don't know why it should have been the most simple thing on this sculpture, but I actually found it pretty difficult. It took a lot of time before I got them right.
Yeah, it's difficult when you can't cover it up in fur.
Anyway, I made the hands off camera because
Thank you so much.
I think we have seen a lot of hands, and I made them pretty much like Mr. Clayfect did, only better of course.
But you didn't make yours in cosplay, so...
No, I made mine in regular clay because we didn't need to use cosplay there.
Yeah, I did.
After I had put the hands on very gently,
Very carefully.
very carefully, I gave...
You snuggle his hands.
I'm shaping his hands because I want them in a relaxed position before I give his wrist some wristbands. And will you say he looks armored now, honey?
Nah, not really.
And
But
then
now it's on to your familiar territory.
I actually really hate making tails. They are so difficult to keep on. Even if we wrap wire around it. I didn't do that here because I want the tail to be sort of thin but sturdy. And I think it came out great, but oh my god, it's difficult to make a long tail.
And then you put the little tip on the tail.
Finally making it done so I could get to work on the leather strap around his shoulder.
Now you're gonna make more armor.
I'm going to make more armor.
Oh, that's good.
He's going to look so good, guys. I still don't like him, but he's going to look good. And I made a sort of belt buckly thingy. I don't know what it's called.
Just a buckle.
Just a buckle. Closing mechanism. Just to give him some more details. And it was at this point, I think, that the sculpture really came together. After I made the closing mechanism thingy magic.
Just a buckle.
I'm not sure it's called a buckle.
It is.
Then I gave him some shoulder armor to get the armor aspect really in.
And as you see, guys, there's a lot more footage of Clayfect than there is of me. And that's only because about half of what I made, probably 75%, is either out of frame or out of focus. So I will really try to do better. But you have to just look at Andrew and his beautiful armor.
Well, it does take a lot of practice to be in frame when you're making clay. It's not easy. But after the armor was done with the same texture as the other armor, I gave him some headphones. And why am I giving him some headphones? Because of the Discman I talked about earlier. Again, I tried to keep it in this retro aspect, so it's some big headphones, and the Discman is actually also my very first Discman.
Again,
Trying to make a relationship with this darn sculpture.
is that a way to say you are retro?
I'm very retro. If you look at my hair, you would say I was stuck in the 80s.
And now on to the pink paint. I painted all his limbs this purpley pink color, and I made Clayfect make that color.
Well, it is a good color on it. I have to say, I also love the shell color you're using.
I'm not that good at mixing colors, but it's especially kind of disturbing when I have to make a colorblind person make it. Anyways, then I paint his bottom shell black.
His butthole.
Don't say it!
It's a black butthole!
No. And then his little red tongue.
I have to say, all the technique you're using there, you got me at paint, honey. You are amazing at it.
No, I'm not.
Just wait until you see the shell, guys. He's going to beat me so badly.
Yeah, no. A little bit of dry brushing on the shell to make it ready for the sparkle. And then I dry brushed all his limbs with a slightly darker purple to make the contours really stand. And then around his eyes to make them pop. And then it's on to the sparkly part. And I mixed some chameleon mica powders with some clear varnish and put them on in really thin layers to make them sort of iridescent.
Taking over this clay off in the process, I just think he looks so amazing.
I didn't.
You did.
No. And then a little black inside his nose. And then it's on to the gradient of the ears. And there was many layers in here. To make those faint colors,
Yeah.
just make them a gradient. I think it was really difficult.
I think it's incredible that maybe I have more experience in sculpting, but when it comes to painting, then Mr. Clayfect got me. I just think his sculptures always looks amazing.
And that manicure.
That manicure. Or is it a pedicure? Is it feet or hands, honey?
It's hands.
Is it
not
hands?
feet.
But he's walking on them like feet.
But it's still hands. You can walk on your hands.
I can't.
Try.
No.
And then we just clean up his eyes, and he's about done. And now, honey, it's over to you for the favorite part of the whole process for you.
I hate painting.
Nah, you're so good at it.
I paint the metal parts black because it will make them pop some more before I go in with the lead.
And this fake color.
It's not fake color.
You didn't use it.
Well, we painted it because it was a little bit too light for me. But it's still there underneath it all. Now you can't see it, but I'm actually using a different color for the knife and the shoes to give it another kind of shine. But the main part is in my favorite metallic color, my secret weapon.
Yeah, she
iron.
just tried to outshine me.
I cannot shine you with mica powders. No one can. After that, I give the horns a normal gray. At this point in the painting process, I'm just trying to get all the base colors down really, before I can move on to something more fun. Like when I'm painting my Game Boy.
Something more retro.
More retro. And when I was little, my favorite color was yellow, and I just loved the color of my Game Boy.
I really thought you were gonna make a little Pikachu on it.
There wasn't any Pikachu back then. Back then, Pokemon didn't exist, so...
You're that old?
Oh, hush you! But we can't forget about the classics like Mario and Kirby. They were really, really great games.
I thought you would say Tetris.
Stop it! But I have to admit, my little face was glued at that pixel screen when Pokemon finally came out.
Yeah, I first started when Pokemon came out. That was where my Game Boy days started.
Tell me, what was your starter then?
Bulbasaur all the way.
Really, Bulbasaur?
Yeah, Bulbasaur.
Well, I was more of a Squirtle type person, you can say. I just loved the little turtle.
And I love seeing you make miniature items.
You can't see it now, guys, because we cut it out, because otherwise it would be too long. But I actually end up spasming in my hands, so this sculpture just flew right off the screen. It was so tiny.
Oh, but I think you did great.
Oh.
You can really see it as a Game Boy.
After the Game Boy was painted, I painted his little belt buckle in a bony white before I painted his knife.
So you really can see his ass with dirt at someone.
Yeah, I really tried to go for the horror here, guys. After that, I put on a wash to give it some dimension and some details, and I just think it looks perfectly. With the armor, it really stands out now. I'm just so happy with it.
It really looks used. And then there's nothing more important than dental hygiene. Remember to flush, guys.
Yeah, I cleaned him up. Before, I think is it for this sculpture and therefore it for this video. I hope you like these sculptures. I think they came out super great. I am so happy with them. And I think that Flunk is amazing. I just love the paint job of him.
We put a vote down in the comments so you can choose to vote on Flunk for the new or Andrew for the old.
No, just vote on Flunk. I don't want to vote for Andrew.
No, stop it.
I don't like Andrew.
Andrew is funny.
Vote for Flunk. Vote for the future.
Vote for Andrew and the retro.
Did we just switch places here?
Yeah, we did, because you are stubborn.
Anyway, leave a vote down, guys. The winner is going to get to change up the rules a bit. We're going to explain that in the next Clay Off. But for now, if you aren't tired of us yet, why not click on the square to your right? Then you're going to see another Clay Off me and Mr. Clayfect made. Until then, bye!